We are live in the last session of the Rebirth of House Hilwood. 1.5 years in the making, I believe. So I will read a recap of what happened last time for everyone. Alright, last on House Hilwood in 289 after Conquest. House Hilwood was a house that had suffered badly in the years under Aerys Targaryen's rule. Lord Gareth and Lady Talea's young children were set ablaze by the pyromancers that the Targaryen king kept in his employ. It was punishment, or so it was said, but the punishment was cruel. Already suffering the deaths of her husband, Gareth, Lady Talea fell into a deep depression. But yet, when the time came, she backed Lord Robert Baratheon of Storm's End in his revolt against the crown. Even with victory was bitter. Left childless and a widow, with scars both mental and physical, Lady Talea did her best to heal not only herself but her house. With loyal servants, and the lady brought peace to the Kingswood, but at what price and for what gain, save to honor her fallen family's name? But a new day had dawned. Lady Talea once again left the Kingswood and the Lodge, seeking out allies for her house. At a tournament at Stokeworth, she found such men, a sellsword and a bastard. Were they true? Were they skilled? They were both, or so it had been proven thus far. Malcolm Waters, a bastard of a lowly cadet house, Stokeworth of the Green Tower, brought his courtship to a close in King's Landing. With the aid of Sir Patrick, a hedge knight from the Reach, and Nira, a member of Lady Talea's court, the group stole away the sacred remains of Lady Talea's youngest children, who had perished by wildfire. The bones now rest next to their father and their brother's cairn at the base of the lodge. The morose history of House Hilwood has not yet concluded. The Lady of the Kingswood, at age 40, stands ready to wed once more. That good enough for a recap?
Aye, aye, sir.
Cool.
Okay. My screen was taking slow. Okay. Nira, Sir Patrick, and Sir Malcolm Waters make their way along the road toward the lodge. A keep nestled high on a hill, surrounded by dense forest in the Kingswood, not far from King's Landing. This wild place was the home of the Kingswood Brotherhood not 5 years ago. And in that time, House Hilwood was almost destroyed, their lord and many of their followers killed, and Lady Talea herself raped and beaten. With her children, her eldest child killed in the fighting, and her youngest children taken hostage by the king, the Mad King Aerys Targaryen, when she sided with Lord Robert Baratheon in his Robert's Rebellion. Those children were put to the flame like many of King Aerys's enemies. But now light shines through the Kingswood as you return victorious. On their way to meet you along the bridge is Jack the Axe, an old friend of House Hilwood, coming under their employ during the Kingswood Brotherhood's attack. And Gareth Ruthermont, a knight from distant lands, attempting to win the favor of Lady Talea and enter her court as a knight. Those waiting see the three riders approaching in the distance. They've been sent to escort them home although Nira knows the way. And both groups come together on the bridge before the steep climb to the lodge above. And I will let you guys take it away.
Jack, always the rough and tumble one, who kind of approaches the group and, how was your trip, my lady?
It was successful, to say the least.
And so we're just coming back with the remains at this point, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, Sir Patrick is perhaps on Naira's right. He looks a little grimy, worse for the wear after the long trip, with some soot kind of spread over his face and his hair kind of dripping with sweat down his back. The sun overhead is beaming down on his armor that's has some dried blood on it, but otherwise seems in decent shape. And crack of a smile crawls across his face as he walks over the bridge and sees Jack the Axe. And as he questions Naira, Sir Patrick just nods. It went as well as it could be, I suppose. We have in our train here the remains of House Hilwood's long lost and too early deceased treasure.
Yes, long overdue.
Is there like a wagon with us with the remains or something like that? Or?
Yep, sure.
Yeah, so I guess Sir Patrick would know that Jack the Axe is a loyal friend of the house and kind of come here, and kind of bring it back and kind of uncovers the contents of the wagon. There's the bleached bones in the back. Couldn't have done it without Sir Malcolm here, and Nero, of course.
When Malcolm sees Jack, Jack, well met, old friend. What news of the lodge?
It's been quiet while you're gone, for once. Can't say I don't mind that at all.
Perhaps a little too quiet. You guys look worse for wear. Gareth will say as he walks over to the group.
Now, it's nothing a little fresh air and wine can't fix up. Hey, Gareth, well met. Sir Patrick extends his hand out.
Gareth will embrace the hand with his hand. Well met, Sir Patrick. Well met. Glad to see everything went all right.
What news of the lady?
Well, as Jack the Axe has said, it's been quiet. She eagerly awaiting your arrival, I'm sure.
Patrick looks over at Naira. Is it Nira? Naira?
I believe it's Naira.
Naira. Perhaps these remains would be best delivered by yourself. I may have a knack for, well, can we say, con artistry, but when it comes to these fine details, this hedge knight may not be up for the task.
Naira kind of gives a small smile and looks down, looks back up at Sir Malcolm. Don't worry, I will deliver the remains if you would like to clean. Sir Patrick, sorry. If you'd like to clean yourself up.
I feel I've got a good bit of this road on me skin. a fair amount in my mouth.
I think we all do.
Somehow managed to smell worse than me. Didn't know that was possible.
Not
As they
many do.
continue. Yeah. Sir Patrick just kind of takes it under his armpit, just shrugs, continues pulling the wagon.
Well, I shall be happy to escort the remains with you, Naira, if you would like.
Of course, it is always nice to have someone else come with. And Naira will follow Sir Patrick. And she'll look to both Jack and Gareth. Are you not supposed to be escorting us?
I suppose I can help my niece along. Need me to carry anything for you?
I think I've got everything packed away nicely. Thanks for the offer, though, Uncle.
I knew Blackpen was your dad. He's quite the dandy, so I figured you inherited his weakness. He laughs.
Fortunately, I did not.
You make your way up the steep roads, and the horses are having some difficulty pulling the wagons up, but with your aid, you're able to get them closer to the keep on the top of the hill. You might be surprised to see, standing, waiting, looking down nervously, is Lady Talea. She wears a fine wolf pelt that flows off her back, mixed in with skin of deer. And she smiles as she sees the lot of you coming up the hill, and rushes forward. I had heard you had come from our forward riders. I was glad to see you all. Glad to see you all. And she moves to Sir Malcolm and embraces him with a warm hug.
Malcolm gives us sort of a bow from the saddle. Good to see you, my lady. Returns her hug.
She steps back and smiles at each of you and says, very good, very good. And she looks at the wagon hesitantly. Is this my boys? Are they there?
Malcolm gives a solemn nod.
She dips her head and strokes her own chin for a moment, but keeps her emotions in check. Very well then. Jack, see them to the estates.
Yes, my lady.
And she looks back at everyone and says, there is a celebration this eve, but first we should take care of the bones.
Of course, my lady.
And
Where would you like us to bring them, my lady?
she kind of nods towards the base of the keep. Gareth, if you could round up Otto, he'll know what to do.
Right away, my lady. He'll go around Otto.
The travelers are shown to their rooms. Nira has her own she can go to. Sir Patrick and Sir Malcolm are given guest quarters in the keep. Guest quarters of honor. They're given baths and food, and as each of you enter the keep, you're given bread and salt. And that night, in a sad display, you're all rounded up and taken to the cairn below the keep. Here below the lodge rests Sir Gareth and his eldest son, and his father, and his father's father, and his father's father's father. Many brothers and uncles and cousins. Before the cairn is an ornate box, two of them actually, both set with the bones, with all Lady Talia's retainers standing nearby. She is on her knees praying to the seven. I'll let you guys go describe what you're doing here.
Malcolm walks up, stands silently behind the lady, head slightly bowed.
Sarah Patrick would be near Malcolm. He'd be cleaned up nicely now. I suppose he's not a bad-looking chap after he's a little bit clean. He's dressed to the nines, or at least as far as he can be successful in that endeavor. But the sometimes talkative Sir Patrick at this point finds a space for silence.
Jack, normally the rather verbose one, is quiet with his head hung low as he remembers the Brotherhood and what they did. And he remembers what they did to his people and what they did to House Hilwood. And then following that, the terror done by the Mad King, he just quietly prays to the seven and hopes that these bones finding their final resting place will give the departed some lasting peace.
And Naira stands beside the others, hands clasped in front of her, just kind of looking straight ahead, and just standing quietly and kind of taking in the joyous yet somber moment. Joyous in terms of being reunited, and Lady Hilwood being reunited with her children, but at the same time being in less than favorable circumstances.
Gareth will be a little back from the rest of the group, silently with his head kind of bowed down. Just minding just the quietness and stillness of it all.
As you all wait, you see a man holding the tenets of the seven, walking forward with his head bowed. He wears no frills, no obvious signs that he is a septon. His thick black hair shaggy on his head with large sideburns. He stands before you all and calls out, "The Mother's blessing on you all. Come to this day where we lay the dead to rest at last. Let the Father's judgment strike down all those responsible as he already has done. Praise King Robert and his wisdom. Praise his valiant fight against the Mad King. Kind of shifts in place slightly. If any would have words of these boys, or anything of House Hilwood, speak now, and let it be recorded to the gods as they make their final slumber.
Sir Patrick just kind of looks around for those closer to the family to take initiative.
Jack speaks up after a long silence and keeps it short and sweet and goes, I was a bandit once, they called me. They chased me and tried to capture me and my people. And in desperate times, they called on us for aid. And since then, they have taken us in as family, as brothers, sisters, friends, comrades. And I know I am better for their hospitality. And I hope that this house sets a shining example for all of those other noble birth in the Kingswood for centuries to come.
And the Septon nods. Well spoken. Even if you are new to this place, any words of wisdom we will hear.
And Naira will step forward, clasping her hands and taking in kind of a deep breath and looking around at everyone. There are no words that can amend what has been done, no true actions that can make up for the loss of life to House Hilwood. But in this time, though before it seemed dark, as long as we all strive for a brighter future and in our togetherness, work together and keep a sights on what's ahead, then we will pull through, as House Hilwood has always done. She'll take a step back and clasp her hands again.
Malcolm says, great tragedy has befallen Hillwood. May the gods see prosperity dealt to them in equal measure.
Yes. The gods are with us this day. And it is in this time of sadness that Lady Talea has asked me to speak on her behalf. And that is a reward for those who have fought for us in House Hilwood and her and her family's name. You are Malcolm Waters. Is that so?
Indeed.
Then let us not be sad this day, but be happy, gleeful. For yes, these boys will be interred into the ground, into this place, with their forebears. But House Hilwood may live on. And she has asked me to present you with this. And he walks over to a small cart nearby and brings a part wolf skin, part deer skin cloak and passes it to Sir Malcolm. If you do not know, in the lore, this would be a betrothal to wear her cloak.
Malcolm carefully accepts, somewhat ceremoniously, slings the cloak about his shoulders, turns to Talia. My lady. Leans over and gives her a simple kiss.
She smiles and bows her head. To House Hilwood, let it prosper for 1,000 years. She nods to the old man to her side, who waves for Jack and Gareth to step forward. Help me, boys! He begins to carry the boxes inside.
Jack assists him.
Yeah, Gareth, very hastily move over to help.
After a few moments, the boxes are taken inside. The day is passing. The sun is fading. You all make your way back to the lodge. Slowly. There's not much said on the way. There's little to be said. Although it is a joyous moment for the house, there's still a somber cloud hanging over you. The night passes with each of you silently. In retrospect, and thinking of what will come on the morrow, which, as told to you by Otto, the man-at-arms at the lodge in the Septon, a wedding. When the day breaks, all your hearts feel lifted of a burden. For finally, at least for Sir Malcolm, he has some place to call his own. A place he could fight for, he could die for with honor. And at some point in the next day, he would become Lord Malcolm Hilwood, Lord of the Lodge. In the morning, the pantries are busy, the servants are hustling and bustling around the keep, and perhaps an hour before the ceremony, everyone is directed to the grand hall of the keep. Can you guys see that?
Yep.
It's black for me.
Uno momento.
Those columns are super tall and dark.
Mm-hmm.
All right, good. Thanks.
I gotta fix it. Site. Okay. So here, various members of House Hilwood stand. And one person that Sir Patrick and Sir Malcolm see is John. Met long ago on their way to King's Landing. He and the rest of his troop have followed behind and come to the lodge. He looks very much like a fish out of water, looking around nervously with his hands in his pockets. You may feel free to mingle as the party is starting.
Yeah. Sir Patrick will look through the crowd with his hand on the pommel of his sword and see John across the crowd, and he smiles a little bit. and approaches him.
Oh, Sir
John.
Patrick.
It's good to see you again.
Oh, good to see you. What a fine and fancy affair this is.
And Sir Patrick rocks back and forth on the balls of his feet. It is fine and fancy. I'm afraid that, well, I'm like a trout on dry land here, as they say in the Reach. What about yourself? How's business?
Ah, I was hoping I could sell some jerky today. If you could put in a good word for me, you know, it'd be the best jerky on the dinner table. I can guarantee it.
I can guarantee it'll be only jerky on the dinner table, John.
Oh, well, what else do these fine lords eat? I thought it was all dried meats.
Speaking of lords, old Malcolm here, quite the lordly chap now he's going to be, yeah?
Lord?
I've tried not to give him too hard of a time at it, but yeah.
Well,
Malcolm disengages from the people he was talking to and comes over. John! Claps him on the shoulder.
Lord Malcolm, I hear. Well,
Sir Patrick gives an overly deep bow. My lord!
Well, how do I address a lord? Me lord? And he, gives another deep bow, super deep. Almost bending at the waist all the way, touching his toes.
Malcolm laughingly returns Patrick's bow.
Oh, do not put me to shame, Malcolm. You may have bent lower than me. Next time I deign to touch my forehead to the ground, I say.
Malcolm.
In all honesty, my lord, I think you'll do a right job of it. This house, well, it needs a strong foundation. And I've been on many travels with you and been through you in tough times and, well, not so tough times. We've drank wine and we've eaten jerky together. And he looks to John on his left.
The best jerky in the 7.
Indeed. I wish you all the best, Malcolm.
Thank you, old friend. Malcolm extends a hand to Patrick.
Clasps it.
As you're doing that, a young maester who has recently come from the Citadel to replace Maester Aubrey, who is old and infirmed at this point, and who has been with House Hilwood a long time, kind of walks over to Ruthord, kind of nudges him to walk along with him as he kind of approaches Sir Patrick and Sir Malcolm. And as he does, he kind of waves over to Nira and Jack to engage them and have them approach as well. John just kind of walks off because he doesn't know what he's doing. And he looks around and he kind of gives a bow to Sir Malcolm. My lord, I am Maester Laenor.
Well met, Maester.
It is my duty to be your maester once Maester Aubrey retires. And as your maester, I need to report some things to you.
Well, speak up, man.
Lady Talea wished me to depart some information to you. You see, now that House Hilwood is on the rise, there are men from across the 7, particularly those other houses in the Kingswood, that are looking to marry into the house. And he looks at Nira pointedly.
And Nira's kind of standing there. She's definitely wearing the finest dress she owns. Hair all done up and everything. Flowers kind of in it. And she's looking a little bit awkward, but holding her hands out in front of her. She looks to Maester Laenor. Oh, looking to marry in?
Yes, you're one of the most eligible women in the court. Kind of blinks a bit at that. And, well, rumor is there's a man here, a knight, Sir Trevin Strongbow he is called, and he will seek your hand.
Jack does a spit take. What's this now?
Yes, married to a knight.
Malcolm crosses his arms and looks at Jack, sort of a half grin, looks back to the maester.
Yes, anyway. Lady Talea is not set to turn him down. It would be difficult. But if Lady Nira had another suitor, it would be easy for her to stay here, if that is what she desired. And then he looks at Sir Patrick pointedly.
Sir Patrick is not all there initially, and then you know how you get the feeling that somebody's looking at you, so his eyes kind of dart across the room, and he sees a maester looking at me. Me?
Yes, you.
Why are you looking at me, maester?
Well, you see, as I was saying to your friends... besides, you are a hedge knight, correct? You are looking for a house to serve, correct?
Indeed I have. And I believe I've found it, although our services are nowhere near enough to repay the kindness that House Hilwood has shown myself.
Wonderful. Then Lady Talea would like you to, well, marry her, so that you might stay here close, and that she is not taken away.
Oh, well, Naira is a very nice girl, a nice-looking girl, a smart girl. She can handle herself, but I don't know someone of my station, and for once, Sir Patrick looks a little bit flabbergasted at this sudden proposal.
Jack kind of blurts out, Naira's not going anywhere if she doesn't want to, being overly protective of his niece.
Absolutely.
Well, he turns to her. What say you? You're the one that's being wed, although you are a lady of this house under Lady Talia's care.
Sir Patrick does at least he feels a little flattered, so he kind of pulls back his shoulders and stands a little taller.
Naira will kind of look down at her hands, shuffling them a bit. She looks over at everyone, looks at the hall and everything. I would prefer to stay here. I did not have any thoughts of leaving, nor any desires to. She looks over at Sir Patrick. But I understand your hesitations.
Well, I hesitate if you hesitate, my lady.
Well, it would allow me to continue to stay here.
Indeed it would.
And the Maester says, yes, I hope if you agree to it, that would be wise. Lady Talea and House Hilwood, as you know, has lost many retainers over the years, and, well, your sons will bolster our house. Your women, your daughters, I should say, will bring in alliances.
And have fine singing voices, Sir Patrick says. It was Naira that was entertained the tavern, right? Okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And Naira will smile. Well, Sir Patrick, if you'll have me then.
Well, I was never one much to give much thought, well, to anything really. And he kind of scratches his head and holds his arm out for Naira to take it. Very well. Let's see how this ends. I would very much like you to stay near your home.
That's what and she awkwardly puts her arm through his.
As you do that, the maester steps forward and unclasps your hands. He's like, wait. There's another man here to come seek your hand. You do not want to give him offense, my lady.
That's, of course. And she makes sure to step back from Sir Patrick.
Absolutely, master. Steps back as well, and cheeks get a little bit rosy.
He takes a deep breath. He's like, yes, and the second thing I was going to say, you need to convince this man not to wish for your hand, my lady. The lot of you. He seems very keen on it, and if Lady Talea tells him no, and instead you are betrothed to a hedge knight, it will do his family a great disservice and offense.
And she kind of thinks on some ideas of how to turn off so strongbow.
Sir Patrick, gives Naira and Malcolm a knowing glance. From their time in King's Landing, when they ran the tavern, they have all sorts of tricks up their sleeves. What do you say, Malcolm? It'll be like old times, my lord.
Malcolm gives Patrick a wink. Indeed. Touches the side of his nose like in the Sting.
Very well, I will leave you to it. When you have it done, then please let me or the Septon or the lady know herself. And he kind of like walks off, and before he stops and he looks at Gareth and he's like, that one there, and he points to Sir Trevin, who is walking over and talking to John briefly. But he gives Nero an eye around the corner, you can tell.
That one right there. Gareth with a little smile on his face. He's Sir Traven, eyeing Nero. Kind of stretches out a little bit and goes walking right between them. Purposely but accidentally blocking his view.
Oh, as you do that, he looks miffed, and you see him kind of... John is talking to him, and he's clearly not paying much attention. And he just kind of turns and begins to walk around Gareth. Excuse me, sir. He comes around to face Nero. He's a tall man with sandy blonde hair and a beard. He bows and extends his hand to take your own.
And Nero will give kind of a very awkward curtsy, and she takes his hand. She'll attempt to take it very hard.
Oh, and he takes it with the palm down, right? And puts his lips on the top of your hand. It is. I am Sir Trevin of House Strongbow. And he kind of looks over to Sir Malcolm and gives a slight smile.
Malcolm comes walking up as he's leaning over to kiss her hand. Ah, Sir Strongbow. Welcome to Hilwood.
Thank you, my lord. And he looks to Nira and says, This lady, Lady Nira, my lady, you are more stunning than I had been told.
Oh, I appreciate it, but it's only for the formalities.
And he just, well, I do enjoy formal events, and here in the Kingswood we do not have so many, but an everyday beauty. Then smiles.
Malcolm looks over to Jack. Jack! Waves him over and looks the other way. Patrick! Come, brother.
Patrick kind of enters the conversation. Hello, my lord. Sir. Gives a short bow to Sir Trevin Strongbow.
Sir Strongbow. Sir Patrick and Jack the Axe.
Pleasure.
He nods to everyone and extends his hand to each of you in turn. Then he turns to Gareth. And you, sir?
I am Sir Gareth. It's an honor to meet your acquaintance. Sir Trevin? Trevin, is it? Trevin?
Yes, Sir Trevin of House Strongbow.
It's an honor to meet you.
It is an honor to meet you all. House Hilwood is a grand place here at the lodge on this hill. I do enjoy it.
Have you seen the view from the terrace? Malcolm will start to show Sir Strongbow towards one of the grand windows from the hall.
I have not. Thank you, my lord, but I would appreciate perhaps to take in the view with Lady Nira here.
I see, Malcolm says.
He says, yes, I'm sorry. Before you had arrived, my lord, I had asked the Lady Talea for permission to enter into negotiations to betroth Lady Nira. And he looks at her and kind of bows his head slightly. But now that you are here, I would ask your blessing as well.
Sir Patrick looks very surprised and raises his eyebrow, and his eyes go wide. His pupils dilate a little bit. He does his best acting job. I dare say, even after the accident?
Yes, the accident. Unfortunately, because of something that happened during our travels, it was a disease that I picked up. I am unfortunately left barren.
Okay. I'll let you guys go first. Go ahead and both of you give... so, I'm just going to make it simple and we'll do influence rolls. So go ahead and do your deception. Probably...
I have...
Convince. Deception convince.
Alright, where is...
So if you click on your token, you'll see convince dash deception.
Oh,
So go ahead and roll that.
Deception.
Boom.
Oh. One second.
Well, he thinks she's a lion trollop, but Patrick...
Well, I mean, we'll RP it, but as it RPs, I want to try to play it off as if, she's a fragile lady. She doesn't know what to say.
Yeah. So let me just.
I want to take him. I want to take him to the side. I want to explain what happened.
Yeah, it's almost 4 degrees. My lady, I do not be fearful of marriage, and marriage to me, I would be a good husband. I promise it. And he kind of looks over to Sir Patrick. Yes,
Sir Patrick is given the old universal, like, shake his head, like, over here, aside, I dare say, Sir Trevin, it's been a long journey home, and Lady Nira, well, I dare say she does not like to speak about the accident and her condition. Follow me. Let's have a taste of John's jerky, and I can explain in detail.
his eyebrows raise, and he looks to Nira and gives her a
Tries to
kind
put
of
his-
like a sorrowful smile, if you will. And he,
Malcolm
yeah, go
gives
ahead.
him sort of a knowing nod. You might want to go listen to.
Excuse me, my lord, my lady, sirs. And he looks at Jack, and he's like, yeah. Looks over at Patrick.
And he gets a piece of the jerky and hands it to Sir Strongbow. Here, gnaw on this. It'll take some of the sting out of this conversation.
He looks down at the jerky, kind of, yes, sir.
And he looks kind of down at the ground, gives his best beaten puppy dog look. I'm so sorry to tell you, you may have heard that Lady Naya went with myself and soon to be Lord Malcolm to King's Landing to retrieve the bleached bones of Lady Talia's horribly slain sons. Have you heard the tale?
I heard that you had went there and spent some time to gather the bones, and that you did find them and were accosted by Septons acting the part, but profiting
Indeed.
on these bones.
That's half of the tale. The other half of the tale, well, we don't like to talk about it. He has a dramatic pause and takes a bite of the jerky and swallows his Adam's apple, moving up and down.
Well, sir, I've come a long way to see her and win her hand, and so I would hear this tale before I make my decision. My house's future depends on it as well.
Oh, indeed. Yes, sir. I understand that undertaking such a journey must have been very important to you, but I would not like you to go into this deal blind. You see, while we were in King's Landing, well, we had to do things that are quite disreputable, and Lady Naya, well, we did run a tavern there for 9 on a month, and in order to pay for the place, Lady Naya had to, well, do things. She came down with the pox, and I say that her insides, well, they're not fit for bearing children.
His
Upon
eyes
learning this, we
grow very, very wide.
Lady Talia does know of this, and I'm so sorry the news has not reached your ears before this point. And I understand, he holds his hand up. To make this journey and not be betrothed to such an exquisite specimen, at least on the outside. Well, I could see how it would be embarrassing. But think of House Hilwood, how embarrassing it would be for the fact it came out that her, Lady Naya, is nothing but a trollop.
Go ahead and give
Yes,
me
that's
another.
why.
Give me another deception.
Yeah, he hangs his head.
Yeah.
I'll give you that one here. Let's look here.
Yeah, he. Can't believe she didn't tell me.
Well, that is why Lady Talia has asked for me to absorb this burden. A lowly
See.
hedge knight. I will betroth her, knowing full well that never a son will I be able to train with a sword, and never will I hear a daughter sing with the fine voice of Lady Naya. And he looks his best to be really upset. Come to think of it, I regret it. But I will do it for House Hilwood, for they have been so gracious to me.
He
Perhaps
scratches
there's
his beard. A way into the house, I suppose.
not a respectable one, but I will do my duty.
He looks
I
you
will
up and
lay with
down.
her in name, if not in act. For it would be a brave man indeed to brave her bedchamber.
Jeez. Well, I do have to thank you then, Sir Patrick, for saving my... And he kind of looks down. From whatever pox she has acquired in King's Landing. Can't even imagine.
Indeed, the maestro only knows it as the rot.
Well, I suppose I will have some of this jerky and find a clean woman somewhere else, one that can bear my children. I do thank you, sir.
Oh, no thanks needed. It's important that we are honest with each other in this day and age.
He nods and kind of bites his lip, and I believe I will make myself drunk.
That sounds like a wonderful idea. Mind if I join you?
And he looks over his shoulder. Who is this man?
I'm the mighty Jack.
Sir Patrick goes to get drinks all around and will serve them.
Jack.
He winks at Naira and Malcolm as he kind of walks away.
And you see Trevin, like he takes his hand and is like wiping his lips off from where he had kissed the top of her hand. Just thinking, yes, the more potent the better. Boiled wine, maybe? Just kind of is looking for the strongest drink he can find. And he walks off. That leaves you guys alone to speak.
Jack kind of goes over to the group. Sorry to hear you're dry as Dorn. I was unaware of this, niece.
And Naira will look over to Sir Patrick, a frown on her face. I mean, I appreciate the sentiments, but really? That much?
Well, the seven are merciful. Miracles have been known to happen. It may be that in the months to come that you are cured of this ill, and the seven may be fit to bless you with many children. And he smiles, hands her a glass of wine.
And she takes the glass of wine. I will definitely be needing this. The divines bless my womb.
We have a future in politics now.
You should see him sell jerky.
Oh yeah,
He just
pretty good.
I'll just shake her head again and take another drink.
Could be worse, my lady.
Could be. I could be leaving the kingdom. But this is second worst. She'll give a small smile to Sir Patrick.
I have the love icon up now.
Those, the shady heart.
Romance option is to the top, Mass Effect style.
Naira will remember this.
As you're all standing in a group, an old man walks towards you slowly. I'm going to do my best Rob impression here. Well there! Look at you. You settled that thing with him? And this is the Master of Arms. Naira, Jack, everybody would know pretty much by this.
Indeed, Otto. It's settled. I wish him all the best luck in the future. I am sure that he'll find a fair lady elsewhere, but not in this keep. Not tonight.
Well, I wish we had more eligible women, but he kind of shrugs.
Perhaps after he is well in his cups, Sir Trevin Strongbow could be shown to the stables.
He just kind of grunts. Don't make the man a fool. Done what you must.
I just only, Otto. You know as well as I, and he takes a drink of his wine, I can go too far sometimes.
Yes, well now you're a knight of the House Hilwood here at the lodge. Your smart words might be helpful, but keep an easy and wise head about you.
Indeed, Otto. Indeed. And he holds out his cup of wine to toast Otto.
Well then, he looks over at Sir Malcolm. I believe the Septon is getting ready.
Malcolm nods. Walks over to Otto.
Well then, this is the day then. I never thought I'd see it. It's been many years, and she's suffered quite the heartbreak. Let me tell you, lad, abuse her, and I don't care if you're the lord of this house. I don't care if I'm an old man. I'll break your skull.
Malcolm gives Otto a grin and claps him on the shoulder. Says, I'd expect no less from you.
Well then, I'll make sure that I put a pillow over my head tonight. You know what I mean?
Malcolm laughs.
And he looks around and, the Septon, he's waving you over there. And the Septon's like nodding in your direction, and Otto kind of nods to you and kind of walks back up on the dais.
And so Malcolm will go talk to the Septon.
And the Septon says, "Are you ready, lad? It's time."
Aye.
Well then.
Malcolm hands his cup of wine to Patrick.
Patrick takes another gulp of it. Oh, unexpected events tonight.
And the Septon waves for Lady Talea to come down, and she does, and stands next to her betrothed. And she kind of looks away slightly meekly. And Septon rounds, and he takes the cloak that Sir Malcolm was wearing and puts it on her back, and her cloak on your back, and he comes to the forefront and he says, "We are here for one reason, and that is to celebrate the union of this man, Sir Malcolm of Stokework of the Green Tower, and this lady, Talea Hilwood." And he looks around at everyone. "I am here, gifted by the Seven, to join these two in holy matrimony." And he nods to you to take each other's hand.
And so Malcolm does.
Very well. And we got 2 minutes here. Here, under the gods, I present this marriage. And he simply says, "You there," he nods to Sir Patrick. "Switch their cloaks again."
Indeed. Sir Patrick walks up and bows to the lady, my lord, and switches their cloaks.
And we keep it short and sweet here in the Kingswood. Well, I pronounce you man and wife under the 7. You may kiss your bride.
So Malcolm takes Talia in his arms and gives her a kiss.
She smiles and receives your kiss, and he smiles. Well, there we have it, a new lord of House Hilwood.
Jack cheers. Here. Rah.
Sir Patrick begins to clap. Here.
Naira raises her glass and smiles to the couple. Congratulations.
Here.
Malcolm holds up his cup. People of Hillwood, tonight we celebrate. Takes a big drink.
And they all cheer, yeah, and clapping. The peasants are clapping. And
I do believe, as custom has it, it is time for the betting.
And people begin to cheer for the betting. Bet her! Which, and if you don't know, basically the males of the house take Lady Talea, and the women of the house take Sir Malcolm and carry them up to their bedchamber while at the same time pulling off their clothes. And so various women begin to surround Sir Malcolm. Does Nira join in this festivity?
Why not?
Jack picks up Lady Talia. Ha ha ha! I'll start at the bottom. Someone start at the top, and we'll meet in the middle.
Sir Patrick downs the rest of his glass and says, "Why not?" It starts doing the same. Oh, yeah.
And the men begin to take Lady Talia and in drunken stupor kind of lead her up the stairs to Sir Malcolm and Lady Talia's chambers. And Sir Malcolm is escorted, quote unquote, up the stairs himself by many women. Both their clothes are removed by the end, and Lady Talia is trying to get into the fetal position as she's carried to cover herself. And it's all in good fun. And eventually they are taken to their chamber and shut in as the party rages on for the rest of the night. And I'll let those who have ending comments here in this scene to say them.
Jack gets rip-roaring drunk, partying and singing loudly so they don't have to hear anything coming from up above them, and has a good time and gives a hard time to his niece and calls her jerky for the rest of the night and laughs every time he says it before passing out in the wee hours of the morning in the corner.
And Nira's not very impressed with being called jerky by her uncle, and just encourages her to drink more. Also thinking about having to marry Sir Patrick also makes her drink more, and probably passes out in the hallway somewhere.
Gareth will move over to Sir Patrick and give him his congratulations on wooing the fine Lady Nara.
And yeah, Sir Patrick will spend the night. He's kind of the rougher sort, so he'll hang out with any other if there are any other hedge knights there, or whatever, and get pretty drunk. Anytime he can try to catch Naira's eye, though, he'll not creepily, but just kind of start to be a little more kind to her, though. Seduce, persuasion.
Intimidate.
Actually, go ahead and
Can I
roll.
defend against this?
Oh no!
He just gets too drunk and says wrong stuff, like,
It looks very leery.
and he says something about like, you really didn't do any, like when we're in that tavern, you really didn't do that, right? I mean, it's like
Yeah, she just kind of looks at him very plainly, swaying slightly with the alcohol.
I'll blame him on the booze. He's normally pretty silver-tongued.
He has full-blown Commander Shepard rape face going on.
2d6? What?
Your persuasion's not very good. It's
Oh,
your
I should have done
deception.
charm. I think
Yeah.
charm's my good one.
You should have done charm.
Yeah, that's fine. It fits because we're all just like getting wasted. And he's bashful.
The night passes, and the partygoers downstairs have their merriment, and the Lord and Lady have theirs upstairs. The next day, people are awakened in various states of displeasure, mostly, as you are extremely hungover. One second. Lord Malcolm and his wife, Lady Talea, arrive back in the common room, and most of you are still there, waking up early. And as you see something, like there's some commotion, as the maester is actually running down the hallway towards the Lord and Lady as they approach. My lord, my lady, I have a missive. A raven came from Storm's End. He passes the letter over to in between the lord and the lady, and she looks to her husband. My lord, this is yours to read.
And so Malcolm will take the rolled up message, open it up, see what it says.
Lady Talea Hilwood, King Robert does immediately and without hesitation command the raising of your banners throughout the Stormlands to set sail with due haste for the Iron Islands. Balin Greyjoy has proclaimed himself King of the Iron Islands, and with cowardice and dishonor burned my fleet in Lannisport. Mass at Storm's End immediately. It doesn't say burned my fleet, it says burned the Lannister fleet at Lannisport. Mass at Storm's End immediately. Lord Renly Baratheon.
He'll pass the note to Talia. As he does so, he looks to Otto. Otto, sound the call to arms.
Yes, my lord. And he jogs rather slowly towards the exit.
And then Malcolm will gather up Patrick and Gareth and Jack, relay the message to them, start talking battle plans. Or at least plans to ride.
Sir Patrick is found slightly, well, not slightly, lots hungover, but talk of battle and imminent danger quickly clears his head, and he reports where directed. If he does see Naira, he casts her a furtive glance and doesn't say a lot.
Gareth with a pounding headache will nod and follow Sir Patrick. Kind of in a daze.
Jack is kicked awake. Last night's vomit still stuck in his mangy beard. Chunks of what appears to be some sort of poultry in his eyebrows. Kind of stands up and sways back and forth. And what's this now? Being told what's going on, he kind of stumbles and looks for a drink to take the edge off.
John, the jerky salesman, approaches and like, "Oh, my lord, sirs, going to war? Perhaps I could come to sell my jerky." Or not.
Don't.
I imagine there'll be many takers for your jerky.
Cast a glance over at Naira's like, "Well, I suppose you're staying here, my lady?"
And she's fairly hungover as well, kind of rubbing her eyes. Her dress kind of still on from the night before, maybe a bit askew from lying on the floor, and wipes the corner of her mouth. That's if our lord would have me. And she looks over to Malcolm.
Well, of course, Naira. And you too, John.
Oh, the woman's going to war, you say? He scratches the back of his head.
Patrick says, Lord Malcolm, I must at least raise some objection at this point.
Naira look over to Sir Patrick. We're not married yet.
Does not mean I do not care about your safety, my lady. It will do no one any good with a sword through your belly. Might as well have the clap. Another
Raises
dumb
a good
comment.
point, Naira. This will be more dangerous than our adventures in King's Landing.
Well, someone needs Sir Patrick to watch over him. Can't trust he'll come back in one piece.
So you care about me at least a little bit.
And now I give a slight smile. Well, wouldn't have agreed to stay with you if I didn't.
Well, here comes some more booze. Listening to this garbage. Jack leans over.
She'll shoot Jack kind of a glare. And what would you have me say then, Uncle?
Listen, Jerky, battle is no place for a young thing like you.
I will stay back from the battle, but I would like to come along.
Sir Patrick seems to like the sound of that. He says, Indeed, men will fight and men will die with a beautiful lady in the rear ranks. They would sooner perish than dishonor her. Clap or no. He kind of gives a wink to Naira. If I remember, she was kind of a rough and tumble female character.
Oh yeah, she definitely is.
Yes. Yeah, so okay, she's cool with that. She's not all dainty.
No, she's not.
So I give a bit of a wry smile. Yes, you do need someone who's responsible watching over you, my lord.
John is just listening to this completely bewildered. Well then, guess we're going to war. I'll pack up my jerky cart.
Yeah, perhaps you gotta watch over Sir Patrick as well.
Oh, me? Watch over Sir Patrick? Ha! I think not. He's the greatest warrior I've ever seen.
Yes, Sir Patrick's eyes kind of go wide.
He won at least 2 tilts at King's Landing. At least 2.
That is true. The 7 were with me, and no small bit of luck.
Sure, he could take these. Where are they from? Some island in the middle of nowhere? Single-handedly, no doubt. And he rushes off to get his jerky cart ready to sell. Excuse me, my lords, it's time. I must get ready. More dried meat to sell, you know.
It's
And
good to know. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
It just says, well, it's good to know that I'll have a ready-made fiefdom of cured meat salesmen if I should return alive.
You mean when?
When?
The next few days are spent traveling to Storm's End with a contingent of a few hundred men, mostly unconventional type of warriors, mostly guerrilla fighters under Jack, and a small contingent of household guard. You do not have many men to help support this endeavor. It doesn't take too long for the men to be separated from the camp followers, which Nira is considered one. There may be an opportunity for her to attempt to sneak on the ship with you. Otherwise, she would be separated and put on another ship that would be well in the back. And you are standing around the docks of Storm's End, preparing to launch out into Shipbreaker Bay.
Naira is definitely going to see if she can sneak onto the ship with everybody else. Boring in the back.
What's everyone's stance on that? Is she telling anyone else, or is she just...
She's definitely telling Nah, she's not gonna tell anybody else. She's just gonna sneak on. So tell her to go to the back.
You could try to roll, or you could just burn a destiny point and would be successful.
Sure, I'll burn a destiny point to sneak onto the ship. And would it be at night that she's able to?
Yeah.
So kind of during the night, she and they're docked. So she'll kind of sneak away from everyone else. Maybe when they're kind of getting prepared, reloading, getting more supplies, everything, and she'll actually sneak into the storage area underneath the ship and kind of hide behind some crates, like a stowaway.
Mm-hmm.
Until they set off and it's too late.
So what is everybody doing as they see Nira kind of back in the being separated before this kind of all goes down?
Well, Sir Patrick, there goes your guardian angel.
Jack calls her. Don't worry, I'll make sure this little dandy stays alive.
Sir Patrick kind of last time sees Nira, gives her a little salute and kind of feels that knowing her and knowing from the mission in King's Landing that she's not going to like being left behind, but Sir Patrick will nonetheless play the role. Indeed, she will provide our troops the much needed moral support from the rear ranks. And makes eye contact with her.
She definitely rolls her eyes and looks back to Sir Patrick. Yes, can definitely inspire the front ranks all the way from the back. What I do best, as you know.
Malcolm gives her a smile. Have a care, lass.
Raise that lovely lilting songbird-like voice into the air, and our men will fight with reckless abandon.
I will keep that in mind.
It takes hours for everyone to be loaded up on the ships. As many men from all over the Reach are here to set sail for the Iron Islands, which is very far away. About 2 days into your journey, 2 days into your journey, you see someone walking along the deck, and I want everyone give me an awareness check. All the males, please. Awareness notice. So it'd be any specialty. Anyone else want to roll?
Finally roll.
Malcolm. So it's like 3 any specialty. It's like the bottom-ish of the list. There you go. I'm going to whisper you something there, Rob.
And so the guys are on the deck of the ship. Malcolm's looking around. And suddenly gives a bit of a start and almost laughs. He elbows Patrick beside him. Points to a cloaked figure walking on the deck of the ship.
Yes, my lord.
Do you see what I see over there?
I see a cloaked figure walking on the ship in all the fog. Maybe he's a little drunk.
For Patrick, as you give a better look, you can tell it's your betrothed.
A quite slender figure with a nice backside. He comes up and grabs the figure from the shoulder and spins it around.
And Naira looks fairly shocked as she's suddenly spun around, and she looks wide eyes at Sir Patrick, then looks slightly sheepish off to the side, giving a bit of a smile. Well, I was wondering when you'd find out.
Well, I dare say you're a little bit more shapely than these louts that walk about on the deck of this ship. Of course I found you out. I have eyes like an eagle. He kind of looks back to Malcolm.
Who remains silent about that one.
Yes, it took you 2 days, so...
I was busy. There's pirates in these waters, as you have no doubt heard. He loops his thumbs into his belt. It's a dangerous place. Certainly no place for a lady of House Hilwood.
Piracy, I'll refuse. I see how it is.
But, no matter. Since you're here, perhaps we can have a cup of wine and, catch up.
Yes, because it has been a very long time since we've seen each other. but a cup of wine would be very nice.
Well, I assume that we would have some better place to hide her than wherever she's been hiding.
Yeah, you have a small cabin, cramped cabin that you're all in. You are a lord, even though extremely low.
I'd go hang out there and have a cup of wine and chastise Naira, not really meaning it.
And she'll look, she'll give kind of a very feigned, sad expression as she's chastised by Patrick. Oh, I just
Duly
feel
chastened
so-
in air quotes.
I just feel so terrible for sneaking aboard.
I'm sure you
so
feel
very-
so terrible.
Yes. Just awful.
What does Gareth and Jack think of this? As this woman's clearly looking to go to war with you guys. It's not completely unheard of, but pretty unusual.
No, she wants to be feisty like the rest of us. Just have to keep an eye out.
Second.
Jack kind of goes ape shit like, what the hell are you doing here? Told you to stay home. You don't listen, just like your stupid dad. Guess what
Did you
happened to your dad?
expect? Yes, I am not my father.
Yes, you're more annoying, especially right now.
Well, I'm here now. There's not really much you can do now, Uncle.
Stop in Dorn and drop your ass off in Sunspear.
Leave you all alone.
Don't like this one bit.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, that's what they all say. A lot of swinging dicks on this boat. Gonna get real lonely all the way around Westeros. Better keep that pucker tight.
It's alright. Apparently I'm filled with the pox.
Yeah, like these men would care.
I agree with your uncle.
So are they. Yeah.
If you make a point.
These men would not be frightened of such a pox. I suggest you at least stay below deck, Naira.
You're gonna stay right by me the whole time. First
Stay
guy
right by him the whole time.
gets near me is gonna get an axe to the dick cock.
Acceptable, Uncle. Can't wait to see. She'll kind of have a very toothy grin the entire time. Just drinking her wine.
Somehow, over the next few days, you do keep her from harm. Keep her in your cabin, for the most part. And eventually, your ship, the captain, is ordered. You're not exactly sure, but you're sailing around the main fighting, apparently. That's what you're told. To land on one of the islands and make a subversive attack on some various areas and walls of the defenses. And you know that you're supposed to dock in the next few hours, leaving you waiting. You guys can have some final roleplay before disembark.
Yeah, Sir Patrick has been in his fair share of bar brawls and minor battles and tournament jousts, but this sort of thing, well, it seems to him that the 2 hours prior to docking are the hardest part, knowing that the chaos of battle lays before him, and his mind harkens back to when he was a boy and he met his mentor, and the stories he used to hear, the glory of battle, but also the gruesome sights, the smells, the sounds of death and dying and screaming, of the maimed. And just to kind of get himself through it, he's running a whetstone over his blade, looking out across the water.
And Naira comes up beside Sir Patrick. He looks out at the water, looks over to him. Nervous?
I shall not lie to you, Nera. My nerves are a bit on edge.
As am mine. I am not sure how this is all going to turn out, but makes me feel better being here than at the back.
Looks to her. I do suppose you expect me not to make a lewd comment about how I'd rather be in the back.
Of course.
He laughs and breaks the tension a little bit. We've come a long way together, you and I. I'd be ashamed to lose my betrothed such a time.
It would be another reason why I'm here now. Make sure you don't die.
I've got Lord Waters here to protect me. I'm sure the Seven will protect us.
I'm sure they will.
And if Jack the Axe has anything to do about it, well, your uncle, he will not fall easily in battle, knowing that you could come to harm.
That was my plan all along. Inspire you all to not die by being here. Hopefully it works.
Sir Patrick goes silent now, just watching the waves crash against the rocky shore.
Naira, if I see you within 100 yards of any spearman or swordsman, I'm paddling your ass with the flat of my axe.
I'll make sure to stay away, Uncle.
Better.
Malcolm looks from Gareth to Patrick to Jack. I think stealth is our ally. Try and keep the men as quiet as we can. Get in as close as we can. And then strike suddenly.
I'm quiet. I don't know about you, men. I can find a way, but you being quiet, it's up to you.
I'm looking forward to taste battle. So it'd be nice if we could sneak up on them. If not, all the same.
Definitely better to preserve our lives if we sneak.
About that time, you hear a rap on the door. Dud, 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 dud.
Naira throws up her hood.
Malcolm moves between the door and Naira. Yes, what is it?
It's Sir Courtney. Open up.
Enter.
The door is pushed open as the commander of this ship and various ships in this fleet. He didn't know that he was actually here. He's a very important man. He's the castellan of Storm's End, actually, while Renly is there. And he says,
Oh,
"Your Lord Malcolm Hilwood?"
Malcolm gives a bit of a bow. I am.
"My lord, here is your assignment." He walks over to the table and slams down this piece of paper, which has got something like the defenses of this, what you assume is this place. "This is Orcamont. We'll be taking her by force soon. Here," and he points to the section of a wall. "We'll land you close by. This protects a hamlet with many of their supplies. We need their outer guard killed so we can move men in to secure their provisions. Need small group, 4 or 5. Dangerous. Can't land many of our men here. We need to take them to more solid ground. This is rocky here." He kind of like waves a hand. "Can't lay down our main force here."
Malcolm nods. I see.
"Do you think you can do this, Lord Hilwood?"
How many defenders do you expect, Sir Penrose?
"No more than 10. You'll be outnumbered unless you want help."
I believe we can handle it.
"Very well. Prepare your men." Kind of looks around and looks over Nira, but if he notices that she's a girl, he doesn't say anything and just turns and leaves. And the door shuts behind him.
Very good.
Nara lets out a bit of an exhale. Whew, and takes down the hood. Well, looks like we have our assignment.
Indeed.
So, out of character, who all have we got that's good with ranged?
Nira is very good.
Mm-hmm.
Jack might be okay.
Yeah, Malcolm stinks.
All I have is a long axe and a.
No, Jack is the axe. He's not the axe thrower.
You can ask him to do it, but he probably won't.
No.
Yeah, I don't think I've ranged at all.
Well,
Yeah, Nira is your main ranged person.
Sir Patrick would pipe up and at least mention her skills.
yes, I can take them down from afar, so we don't have to get in close. Like I said, I won't get within 100 yards of them.
Right, well, we'll count on your bow to silently take out a couple of them so that the rest of us can get in close.
Sounds good. I will do my best.
And there's another rap on the door. "You're ready in there?"
The hood
"Sir
closes.
says we're ready to drop you off."
Hi. We'll be right along. Malcolm looks to the others to make sure that everybody's ready to do this.
Narrow nod, making sure hood's nice and tight.
Sir Patrick nods, putting away his whetstone and sheathing his sword.
Well, then Malcolm will lead off through the door.
You take off through the door and are led up to deck. And there's a small rowboat waiting for you. And there's a man standing as you disembark. You see there? And he kind of points. There's cracky rock, these rocks, and there seems to be a small path, perhaps. Up there, a league into a flatland. There's a small hamlet. Kill the Ironborn. Secure the provisions.
Aye.
And the man rows you. Oops. Rows you ashore. You can pretty much see what's ahead of you in the distance. It's the afternoon. How would you like to proceed?
I don't suppose there's a way Jack can kind of lead him through the woods to get as close as humanly possible instead of going down the trail.
Why not? Let's try. Some sort of survival roll? Perhaps? Survival trap or something like that?
Let's see if I can find it.
Any specialty should.
Yeah,
And you said it was afternoon?
Yeah, it's afternoon.
And Jack, can you lead us around so that we're coming at them, sun at our backs?
yeah. It's not in any specialty. It just goes hunt orientation.
I don't think survival. You gotta pick the specialty first. So I guess
Sneak. I don't know.
you could do sneak if you wanted. I guess you can't roll just the basic out of here. I have to fix that, but. Just do hunt or orientation. It'll be a 0 on your specialty die, but that's okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, you're able to move them through the forest and put the sun in their eyes, waiting just to that exact time as the sun is falling to obscure their view a little bit. So you can all move yourself along, just probably up to like the edge of the two maps in the woods.
On the left.
Yep.
Yep.
On your left.
Yeah, perfect where you guys are.
I'll be behind Jack.
I assume the 3 hooded gents are armed with a ranged weapon.
They are. As you get up closer, you notice that the men in front are typical guard-like soldiers with sword and shield. The men on the wall have crossbows, very big ones, and there's another man with a longbow. And yeah, that's what you see easily. You can tell there's a couple more people in the back, but you don't really see them clearly. But yeah, those guys definitely have heavy crossbows.
Yeah, Sir Patrick and the others creep and crawl through the wood, kind of maintaining cover when they can and skirting along this cliff here, staying out of the light until they come to the edge of the forest. And Sir Patrick looks to his compatriots, the guerrilla warfighters, looking for direction.
What are they carrying for armor? The gents in the front.
Gents in the front have on a chain.
Shields.
Yep. And they're just
Alrighty.
like pacing back and forth, looking nervous.
So do we let Naira announce we're here with a shot to one of those crossbowmen?
I think that might be best. I don't know if the rest of you would like to set up to run out there and engage.
What's Malcolm, Sir Patrick, and Rosamond? What's their armor?
Sir Patrick is a tank. He has scale on.
As does Malcolm.
Couldn't tell you what I'm wearing. I just know my.
Didn't say. And you got brig on. It's in your character sheet.
Okay.
Well then, once she shoots the first one, they'll know we're here. We charge them, kill them, take their town.
And Naira takes out her bow, kind of waiting for Malcolm to give her the go-ahead.
Be nice if we could lure some of the footmen out here, but I think you're right, Jack. We'll just have to go weather the fire from the bows until Naira can shut them down.
All right. If they're dumb enough to come into the woods, let them. If they fall back, then we don't have much of a choice.
Right.
Mm.
Yep.
So we could always lead them into the woods, yeah. No
Sir Patrick
use,
nods.
no use going out there and engaging.
Naira,
We can keep cover.
kill these men with your bolts as you killed my heart with your words.
She'll give a bit of a smile. That
Jack
is
does
probably the
these.
worst thing I've ever heard.
Jack slowly turns, just, you motherfucker.
Patrick just shrugs.
And Naira will hold up her longbow, and she'll knock an arrow, pulling back to her ear, and she's gonna fire. I think she's got a good line of sight on number 2.
Okay.
Just
Go ahead and fire away.
all right. So longbow.
Now, you can aim as well.
Yeah.
yeah.
So when you click it, I'm guessing that's what you want to do. Just real quick, so you get a basically 2 lesser actions per turn, and a very common one is to aim, attack, or move and attack.
Mhm.
So, if you aim, when you do it, when you do your weapon, you'll see rolled dice modifier. Put a 1 in there.
Okay. Kept dice. I'm guessing it's 0.
0, yeah.
Static bonus 0.
Don't fail me now, dice.
Oof.
3 degrees of success.
18 damage.
18 damage, minus 5, 13 damage. So how does it look as you kill this guy?
Yeah.
So from the woods, it looks like kind of out of nowhere, an arrow just goes flying through, just whistling through the air, and it's kind of perfectly timed. This guy over here kind of looks towards where the arrow's flying, and it goes straight into his left eye, having him stumble back and fall down.
So we're gonna roll initiative now, but you guys are gonna go first for surprise. So you should have a yep.
Is there any modifier for surprise, or we just go ahead first?
Yeah, you're just gonna go.
It's fine.
So we get a free action before the battle round starts, and we just get a action.
Say it again.
So do we get a free action and then the combat starts, or do we just get to move first?
You have free action, and then it'll go by initiative.
All right. What's my sprint? How do I calculate that again?
×4. Remove ×4. I don't think anybody has enough bulk to really mess him up besides the guy. Brig is 2 bulk or 1. I don't.
But which are we using custom armor or not? Because I think I'm wearing a breastplate, and if memory serves, breastplate has 3 bulk, the same as brigandine.
Let me see.
And splint mail has bulk 3 too.
Splendid.
Yes, sir. Splint, brigandine, and breastplate all have bulk 3.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you would have bulk 3 then, so movement of 3 times 4, so 12 is your sprint. Let me make sure this is, hold on 1 second before you do that. There you go. Now mark it off.
Oh shit, that's only 14 feet to number 1.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm well within. Fuck, I'm in charge range. Jackie Jack's gonna charge then.
Okay.
Charge number 1 was battle axe. So the roll dice modifier is nothing, but the penalty is -1.
Yep.
Do I put -1 or just
Yep.
1?
Put a -1 in. I think it should work.
Yeah, that's right.
So 19, and then that would be 7 damage, right?
Yes, sir.
So we're talking about 3 degrees of success. 7 times 3 is 21. Has the die.
Jack comes barreling out of the woods like a screaming madman, axe flailing above his head, runs up the embankment, and before the guy can even properly defend himself, just gets a big old battle axe right to the torso as the blood splatters everywhere, and Jack screams first kill, and he falls down dead.
Okay. Whoever wants to go next.
So my movement's 4. Like, how does that work with the charge and stuff?
You can move. Charges move your full movement rate and attack, so you can move 12.
So square.
Your full run, right?
Yeah.
Or not? Or is it?
Trying to find
charge.
movement. Where's movement listed as?
It's in your combat stats, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, is charge a full move, or because you went 12 there, Mike?
Well, it's in yards.
No, that's true. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you can move. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, you could charge there. It's fine.
Alright, that's what Gareth will do.
Okay.
he'll do a swing with his long axe.
Yep, just put a -1 in your kept dice.
Okay.
So that's gonna hit, but only 1 degree. So it's 12 damage. So he takes. Okay, so you hit him. You don't kill him, but your long axe smashes into him, almost knocking him over from the powerful swing. Whoever's next.
Naira will knock another arrow. And it's only one action, so I can't aim and shoot, correct? Or
You can aim and shoot, yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, you get your full turn.
Alright, so she'll actually hit number 3 there again, right beside his friend.
Okay.
See if she can catch him off guard as well.
Boom.
He's dead.
Nice. I
So
do
the
not
same-
fear the ranged combatants.
Yeah, so she again knocks an arrow, drawing it to her ear and letting it fire. And as the one besides number 2 looks over at his friend, looks at him fall, the arrow goes right through his ear, out through the other, as he falls beside his friend.
Why did I ever tell you to stay back?
This is why I came. I knew you needed me, my lord.
I like the sound of that.
Of course you do. You're a lord.
How far can I charge though with scale then?
You can go well.
So my movement would be 4, so 12.
Yeah, you'd actually be 3. You can go well if it's in feet, so you can times 3, whatever.
Yeah, so 12.
That is, so you can get to anybody almost. You can definitely get to 2 if you want, or 5.
I'll probably take out 2. Yeah. Steals a kiss from Naira before he runs out into battle.
Damn.
Very able for her to stay focused and aim while you're licking her ear.
Is there a bonus? Is there a bonus for the charge then?
Charge is actually it's a bonus to damage and negative to attack. So when you roll your attack, put a -1 in your kept dice modifier.
Okay. So -1.
21. Okay, that is going to be 3 degrees of success. 7 damage times 3. He's dead. How's it?
So he runs across the battlefield after stealing a kiss, past Gareth, and raises his sword and actually just acts like he's going to swing at this guy's head, but instead brings around for a stab and just goes in just underneath his sternum, exits out the guy's back, and he kind of kicks him off. As he kicks him off, like the guy's body tumbles over the dead body of one Jack just took out.
Lord Malcolm.
Alright. So we'll run across the field in this charge. Behind Gareth. And attack 4.
Okay. -1 to your kept dice modifier.
So I'm kept.
Dead.
Keep the good rolls going.
Mm-hmm.
It's a change from our normal games.
Yes.
And so Malcolm dashes across the field, around Sir Gareth, runs up, and just runs his long sword, right through the joint in this guy's armor. It is where his arm meets his breastplate. Just runs him through.
So as you attack, all these guys are surprised and weighing about, trying to get ready. All right. So one of the guys has a longbow kind of sitting next to him in his hand, and he immediately, as all this is happening, is like, "Oh, what the? The drown god!" And he quickly places an arrow in against the string and shoots at Gareth, who he has the best shot at, with an aim.
Ooh.
23.
Oof.
Your combat defense is a 19. That's gonna be just barely 3. So 21 damage minus 8. So we're looking at 13 damage, which would kill you.
Oh, yeah.
Would you like to take a wound or various injuries, etc.?
Oh, God. I'm trying to remember what wounds.
So wound negates all damage you took, but you have a kept dice penalty until it's healed.
How much? How much
yeah,
damage did he take?
You
After
took 13.
After armor, he took 13.
Yeah, after armor.
Damn.
What's your endurance?
Yeah, it should be on the front of your character sheet. His endurance is
4?
Yep, 4. You take 2.
You would take 3 injuries. Oh wait, no, he took 13 damage. He's got to soak. Fuck.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't even soak all that because each injury would get rid of 4 damage, and you only can take injuries up to your endurance max. So you could take 1 wound or 4 injuries, and you could not take any more injuries after that.
Well, he could take 3 injuries, and that would be 12, and they would just be hit for 1 damage, though.
Oh, how many hit points does he have? He'd have 12 hit points?
12. He has 12.
Oh, well, in that case, shit. Take, let me do math here in my head.
If you took 3...
Take 9 hit points and damage, and so that'd leave you 3 of 12. You'd have 4 points left to soak, and then take 1 injury.
Yeah, that's up to you. How you could take a full wound, you could take as many injuries as you want, but you got to do something.
So each injury takes away
4.
And I have to get 13, so if I take 3, that would leave 3 damage then, right?
Now, if you took 3, it would leave 1 damage.
And if I reduce it to 2, that'd be 8.
And keep in mind, hit points refresh after every combat.
Okay. So if I go 2, that'd give me 8.
With 5 damage.
Alright, I guess I'll take the 2 injuries then, and then hope for the best.
Okay. You take 2 injuries and 5 damage.
If that's right.
And it's still not changing. Damn. One second.
Quickly becoming a pincushion.
It's okay. We shall avenge your death.
There we go.
Okay. So he shot you, shoots you straight in the chest. and just like kind of thuds through your brig armor, and the points like sticking out or sticking into your chest, with the rest of the arrow just kind of hanging out of your chest there.
Oh.
Right. So guys are running through the opening of this damaged wall, coming at you guys. Let's see here. This one's going to charge Sir Patrick. And he swings a long axe. $13. That is going to... That's 1 degree of success for 13 damage.
And armor rating.
Yep. So 13
Six.
damage. It's 7 damage. Is what we're looking at.
I think I should just take the damage. Do one injury and then the damage.
If you took one, if you took 1 injury, that would set it at. Let's see. What's your endurance? I think you have 12, so your endurance is 4.
Yep.
So you're talking about 3 damage and an injury.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah, so he like finished off the guy, and this dude in a bear pelt runs up behind him and turns around and just takes a hit across his shoulder and spins around. Oh!
And you are up for that.
Let's see. And I'm going to... You get a lesser act.
You get 2 lesser actions or a greater action. You can't use the same technique twice, so you can't attack.
Okay.
But
I'll just
you
look
can
at
aim and attack.
Yeah, let's just do aim and attack, I guess.
Okay. If you do an aim and attack, give yourself
Can't do a maneuver
roll.
and attack.
Yeah, if you wanted to maneuver him, but maneuvering him just moves him.
But he also gets a negative. He gets a -1d penalty on all tests.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'll just aim and attack. Try to finish him off quick. All right, long
Okay,
sword.
so give yourself a rolled bonus. So give you 1 in your rolled modifier.
All right. Don't fail me now.
1 and 2.
Oh, that's good.
So that's 3 degrees of success. That's for a total of 10 damage. Let me see something here.
That's 15 damage.
Yeah. He has 5 armor, so
Okay.
That's 10. He's going to take an injury with that, which will so 1 injury. That's going to give him 6 damage. But he's going to use a talent he has called Berserker,
Oh, jeez.
which allows him to attack you immediately.
But at least it has the injury factored in.
Yes, it should. Injury. Let's see. Okay, no bonus die. So he's just rolling his fighting. Let me figure it out. So he should just roll his fighting. Just action.
Does that go against my passive fighting?
No. It's he's just gonna roll his fighting. I just gotta see him on
Okay.
that thing real quick. Sorry.
Berserker's magnificently exploitable benefit.
Yeah. So. Wow. Wow. So 1 degree of success, 13 damage.
I think I'm dead.
No, not at all. You can take a wound, which will negate everything, or you can take multiple injuries. You can take
17. So it's 17 even with my stoke.
No. 17 is the attack roll. So
Oh, right.
so he did he rolled a 17 versus your 12. That means he hit. That's actually 2 degrees of success though. So 2 degrees of success. So that means he's going to do 22 damage. You probably need to take a wound.
Yeah, because you'll subtract your armor, and if you have
6.
scale, that's
6.
scale.
Yeah.
That's 6. So subtract 6 from 22. You've taken 16 hit points, so you have to, like you said, you'll have to probably take a wound.
Give me the wound.
So he's just bashing Sir Patrick there as he gets cut and just takes his long axe and swings it into Sir Patrick's back. Nira from afar, you see him like scream out as this axe head just digs itself into his lower back.
Poor fellow.
And this not poor fellow tries to shoot at Gareth. He's gonna aim. Yeah.
Oh man.
All right, 16. That's 2 degrees of success with a soak of 6 because of piercing. 12 minus 6, so 6 damage.
Okay, that's at the soak.
Yeah, that's after everything.
Jesus.
So, what would you like to do?
Oh man. So I could do another injury, and that would leave me 2 damage, right?
Yep.
Alright, I'll do that. Yeah, it's -3 now.
All right. So you took -3 to that, so you get 4, and you took an injury. This bolt just whips into your shoulder, like turning your whole body as this humongous crossbow just lays into you.
Immediately regretting some life choices.
So you're at 3 injuries now.
Jack the Axe,
Everyone-
our only hope.
All the other ones are dead, so Jack is up.
Jack is going to move. He's going to try something here, a little tricky. He's going to do his Axe Fighter 2 on this guy right here.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm doing this right,
So you don't have any bonus. You don't have any specialty.
yeah,
dice
I got to
in this,
do
right?
roll.
So just do negative whatever your specialty.
Yeah,
is.
negative
That's what I
3
did
on
for
rolled
Berserker.
dice modifier. Is that
Mhm.
correct?
Yep. That's what I did for the Berserker. Worked.
See if that works. Yeah, that's right.
Got 5 fighting. Yeah, that did.
Yep.
So that is 2 degrees of success.
So he takes.
What does X Fighter 2 do?
Okay, so he takes 10 damage.
Mhm.
So what's his armor rating?
5.
So he'll take 5 points of damage and a wound.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right. So he's going to take an injury, obviously. So give him an injury and give him a wound.
And is Jack, does he have a regular shield or a large shield?
I believe it's a regular shield.
All right, because his CD I saw listed as lower than it should be. I just wanted to clarify on that.
His CD is 11.
It should be 13. He has shield mastery too.
Okay. Just bump that up then to 13.
That'll
Yeah,
matter.
so
That matters with a big fat bitch with a long axe swinging at you.
Yeah, and
berserker style.
he's doing berserker right now. So let's see. So this is gonna get tricky because it should be -3 or -2. I think it should be
He's minus
-2.
2 injuries and then -1 dice.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about the berserker. All the wound and stuff is already automated in the standard for the berserker. So I think he should roll. No, that's not right.
If you
That's
keep,
a miss anyway.
what's his
Okay.
regular fighting?
Let's see. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do with the magic.
If his
It's fighting.
fighting's 4, that's
It's 4.
the
It's
correct
4.
dice.
Yeah, I just didn't keep one of them.
He misses because Jack's a badass
Yeah,
motherfucker. He
misses.
plants his own axe into Burr. Burr roars in rage and swings back with his long axe, but he's too slow, and Jack jumps out of the way and unfortunately is saving his niece's future husband.
All right, Lord Malcolm.
All right, Malcolm will attack goal 3 here.
Mm-hmm.
Aim attack.
Yeah, so give yourself a roll dice. 1 in there.
Ooh, dead.
Oh, wow. Yeah, oh my gosh. Look at that roll.
Damn, son.
Decapitation.
Yeah, he's dead.
Should have saved that for later.
Split him from groin to fucking throat.
How's that look?
I think with that roll, it's the head comes off.
Yeah, you just decapitate him. Alright. Gareth. Getting beat up. What do you do?
Malcolm can. I guess he aims, so he can't move.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Tired of being a pincushion, so he's gonna. I'm worried about being able to meet the number of dice on be dueling it out with this guy.
You have 3 injuries, right? So
Yeah.
if you have 3 injuries, that's just -3 to your roll. That's not awful.
Okay. Yeah, because what I want to do is try to hit him, and if that works, move it if he dies.
You can do that without an aim. You can swing
All right.
and try to move.
Yeah, you can move like to cover like beneath this cliff so the range guy can't hit you.
Yeah, I'd give
Yeah,
you a
but
cover bonus.
Essentially, just duck and cover, so I'm tired of getting hit by arrows. Alright, so he's just gonna hit.
13. That is a 1 degree of success for a damage of 10, though. So it's 6 damage. That would kill him. How does that look?
Yes.
So Gareth, after becoming pincushion, looks over and sees the Ironborn coming up to engage him. Not feeling like toying or anything. He gives him a quick slap with his axe and then twirls and hits him right in the midsection. And then after he pulls it free, he looks around and sees a cliff to go hiding behind. And so what he does.
Okay. No soldiers. So another guy comes out charging. And he has a warhammer. He swings it down upon Jax. Or Jack, I should say. -1 kept. 17.
1 degree.
1 degree. 10
High-
damage.
10 damage.
3 shattering, so let's mark off 3 off your armor.
Off my shield.
Off your shield. Okay.
My shield, if it is a regular shield, is destroyed.
Yep.
So, I will take 5 hit points in damage.
Okay. All right.
Sniper shot.
Yeah.
Okay. It is her turn.
So because there's bodies in the way, does he gain cover?
He would gain some cover, yeah.
Hmm.
5. It would be 5 extra points to hit. So you'd be shooting for a 17 on the first guy and a 14 on the next
Oh.
guy.
Yeah, she
This guy has a longbow up here, yeah.
oh
he
yeah,
has a longbow.
she wants to. She really wants to hit this guy. Very frustrated. She can't get a good aim on him, so she aims up at the guy with the longbow who's been peppering Gareth. And loose an arrow.
Okay.
Hopefully she's not. And then she aims and fires. Hopefully she's not too flustered from that kiss earlier.
Every time you try to aim at this guy, like Patrick's head just gets in the way.
It's like what? Fires
That
it.
is
Weirdo.
22. It's
That's
good.
3 degrees of success. That's 18 damage. So minus 3, so 15. He's gonna have to take a wound. So you shoot him directly into the chest, and he staggers. Ah, fuck! And he kind of looks back in your direction and tries to shoot you, but you got cover. I'm going to give you a 3 cover bonus. So he'd be shooting at a 12. He's going to aim.
Oh, no.
1 degree of success. 7 damage. So you have... so that it would actually be 4 damage. You could take all that.
Yeah.
Injury.
She's gonna
Take it all?
Take it all.
So it like ricochets off a branch, and then like basically the tip of the arrow just like grazes your cheek deeply.
Oh,
Might give you a scar later on.
I'm not taking her anymore.
Yeah, she grunts from it, but doesn't let out any other noise besides that. Doesn't want to distract anyone from getting hit.
So I said all right, the guy with the so all out attack gives me a +1 to
Yeah, it's
Like-
reckless attack or all
yeah, reckless, yeah. +1
Reckless
to
attack
kept
is
dice, and then
-5 from your combat defense.
Yep, that's what he's gonna do. He swings it at Jack, just like just overhead chop. All right, here we go.
Did he already have a wound? I can't remember.
I believe he does have.
Which one?
Is all that stuff figured in? Oh,
Yeah, it should all be figured out. Yeah, he has 1 wound to it. Yeah, because he's probably keeping 4. Yep, that's correct. So he swings at Jack. So your combat defense is 11 now, right? Because the other guy destroyed your shield, right?
still be a miss,
No,
right?
it'll be 9 because
9.
yeah, it'll be 9.
That's a hit then.
I'll take 6 hit points in damage, taking me down to 1.
Yep.
Which one hit me? The guy with the bear skin or the?
Yeah, the guy with the bear skin straight on top of you.
All right. His kept dice were too high.
No, he did reckless attack though.
Yep. Sorry, you're right.
Yeah, so it'd even it out. Yeah.
Yep. Either way, I took 5 damage.
Yep. Okay, Sir Patrick. Yeah, he swings down and his axe just ricochets off Jack's shoulder, almost knocking him to the ground. And his combat defense is now a 7. So.
His combat defense is only 7.
Yep.
Okay. I might be able to actually do. Cautious attack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, so I just got hurt badly, and I see Jack get hit, so I kind of go in and like take a jab right down at the guy's throat, but try to like attack from around this corner in a way that protects myself. So
Yep, sure.
I pick up. It's a -1d, but I increase my combat defense by 3. Is that right?
Yep. I think it's more than that.
It's 3. It's -1d to the attack. I mean, you still roll the same number of dice. You just have one less
just
kept dice.
put -1 in your kept dice.
And then you add 3 to your combat defense for the rest of the turn.
Hopefully I can still hit a 7. That's not very hard. So roll dice modifier needs to be a -1.
No, not rolled, kept.
So kept -1 and then roll it. There we go. Still hit him at least.
2 degrees of success.
Yep.
10 damage. So let's see how many he has. So I'll take 2 injuries. This API is really buggy. Go live. Takes 2 injuries. And you would take, so you hit for 10 damage, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
10 damage, so yeah.
-5 armor.
Yeah. So that's it. So he doesn't take any. Shit. Yeah. Yep. So he takes 2 injuries and uses Berserker to attack you back.
So he has to beat a 15 though, right?
Yep, he sure does.
And he's at -1d and -4.
Yeah, he's keeping 2 dice there. So it's actually impossible for him to hit. But he swings and it just whiffs over your head.
I'm glad I did that.
Mm-hmm.
This guy on the wall with the big crossbow begins to crank his crossbow and reload it, and that's his turn. Jack, you're up.
What is the new assailant wearing, gear-wise?
He has on it looks like it's not much. Breastplate.
All right, Jack's gonna turn his attention to the newcomer because Man Bear Pig is bleeding profusely from several injuries that he and Sir Patrick did to him. He is going to go ahead and take the battle axe and put it into 2 hands now that his shield was destroyed.
Yes.
Do yet another Axe Fighter 2 attack and see if he can continue his lucky streak. And that damage is now 6, by the way.
Yep. 2 degrees of success.
So 12 damage and a wound.
Yep, so -5. That's 7. I'll just take all that.
He kind of yells at him, "Come up and charge me when I'm not looking, you bastard!" and swings his axe violently down, crunches through his breastplate, and you just feel like a sickening thud, and his blood starts pouring down the man's torso.
Staggers. Lord Malcolm.
Alright, Malcolm has seen these two guys beating up on Patrick and Jack. So he growls and charges one that Jack just hit.
Okay. So if you're technically charging, just put a -1 in your rolled.
-1 in
Rolled.
roll.
I'm sorry, kept.
Yeah.
That's a success. That is 3 degrees.
Nice.
So that's 6 damage. So 18 damage. Minus that's 13. He's gonna take. He's gonna take 3 injuries. And damage. You cut him across the back and he staggers to the side. Ah! Garth.
Okay. Kind of eyeing up, seeing that the archer got hit and feeling some pain, seeing the melee that's going on over in front of him. He's gonna make his way back to the fray.
Could he reach this guy?
No, there's no way to get up on that
Yeah.
side of the wall.
Nah, I think I'm just gonna have to go between Jack and Lord Malcolm. I should be able to get there by regular movement, though,
And
right?
Naira will be able to finish him off.
You can get there from a regular movement where you can charge if you want to do more damage.
Yeah,
But if you're looking for more of I got a hit, then maybe you just want to move. I mean, you have what, 3 injuries? That's not
Yeah.
terrible.
It's not too bad, man. You always take a wound.
That's just -3 too.
yeah.
It's
so
when you
yeah,
start
max
taking
15.
wounds, you start getting screwed.
So, yeah, because if I charge, it'd give me max 15 damage. 15 hit. Whereas normally it'd give me an extra die roll if I do something.
Yeah, it's whatever you want to do.
Alright, so I'm gonna do regular movement.
Okay.
You can get up there and have some fun.
Tagging the guy straight to your north.
Yeah.
Okay. Let her roll 3 degree. No, just 2. 20 damage. The long axe kind of day. So 15 damage. He's gonna take a wound.
So uncivilized.
Okay, you're starting to chop this guy down. Ah! Staggers again. And he retaliates with a reckless attack against Gareth. Here we go. It's right. 1 degree. 8 damage. Minus doesn't get through. But it does shatter, so it like hits your armor and it begins to like fall apart. Like cracks it badly.
Oh damn.
So
You
took,
need,
three
2
shatter.
or more degrees for that.
For shattering?
Yes, sir. Whenever you get 2 or more degrees in a fighting test made with a shattering weapon, you reduce the opponent's defense or armor bonus by the amount indicated.
Okay.
Play by post gives
So it
it a
doesn't-
chance to study the minutia
You're
of the rules.
welcome. You're welcome, bitch.
Nero, you're up.
All right. So she's actually going to, as he's cranking and reloading, she's gonna be firing.
Kill the ginger. He's
What, this guy? Kill the ginger? I don't know. Fine, I'll kill the ginger.
I don't know. Do what you want.
She worries between the two, but decides the soulless one needs to die. And she aims and shoots.
Amen, sister.
Amen.
And yeah, yes.
26. That is going to be 4 degrees. Probably. So let me look at this. So 4 degrees, 24, 21. It's got to take a wound. Shoot him in the stomach. Spits up blood. Staggering, he tries to shoot back. Aim. And you have cover 3. That does hit you. 1 degree, 7 damage.
Ah.
Minus 3, so 4 damage. Would take you to 1.
Take an
Or you
injury.
could take an injury, which I believe would.
Don't take an injury.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
take an injury.
You do want to take an injury?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so I'll give you an injury, and then so you would you'd have to take 1 damage of that
Yep.
instead. Okay. The guy with the guy that's very hurt is going to reckless attack Jack again. That's what he's going to do. He reckless attacks again. Whiff. Wow, that was weird.
You
That's nice.
barely hit me. Ha 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 ha.
I missed. You rolled a 6.
No, he's wearing a bear costume. Keep up.
Strange. That's good. The roll is correct, but the highlight is not. Whatever. So he whiffs. He just kind of swings and axe embeds itself in the ground. Sir Patrick.
What are the rules for like moving through people and that sort of thing? It's
Technically, it'd be a free attack against you.
so it can't. If I move here, it's like an attack and opportunity type of situation.
I think it's leaving a space.
Okay, so
That you can't get up there. That's you'd have to go to the back. Right?
Oh, okay.
This is a wall, and
Okay,
this is
got it.
underneath the wall.
Oh, okay. So you have to go underneath.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Any way to reach this guy?
You could technically move here, but if you move out of here to here,
All right, I'll just kill the bear pelt then.
Okay.
Aim and attack.
okay. 1 rolled dice modifier. $20. He did a reckless attack too, so it's versus a 7. 3 degrees of success, 15. Minus 5, 10. He's going to take 10. Right, I said he cannot take any more injuries. He will take a wound. How does that look?
So he's trying to get through to kind of circle around and flank him. As he's doing so, the guy in the bear pelt's putting up a fight, but he opens up a big long gash right across his face. One of his eyes is totally bloodied, almost hanging out of the socket.
This crossbowman comes to the edge of the wall, points down straight at Jack's head and shoots.
Maybe you should have taken out that guy.
Yeah, I told you.
No, I think
you ignored me.
I think the red beard
Two
would have hurt more though.
2 degrees of success with piercing 2.
12 damage.
12 damage minus 3, so 9 damage.
I will take. I have to take 3 injuries.
How does that look as he shoots you?
He looks up. He feels like that presence and looks up just as the arrow comes down and just nails him like right in the shoulder. And he's got the arrow sticking out on his left shoulder. And he grunts and kind of kneels down for a moment.
And it is your turn.
Guys won't die.
How many wounds does Bearskin have?
I believe he has 2. He has 2. He has 4 injuries and 2 wounds.
He can't hit anybody.
I was so just real quick. If I go to here, I'm underneath the wall, so I can't be shot
That's
at
correct.
with arrows, and I won't get
That's
an
correct.
attack of opportunity.
Not unless you leave that space.
All right, I'm gonna hit the other guy, not bear guy.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a regular attack this time, two-handed still.
Mm-hmm.
So dice modifier is 0. Kept dice is
Your injuries are
already figured in.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So
That is a hit.
6 damage per.
Yep, that's 3 degrees too. Just barely. So that's 6 damage. That's 18 damage. 13 damage. Let's see here. Oh god, this guy's fucked up. 15. Good. No, he's got to take a wound. So you just, how does it look as you chop him in the back? He's not dead, but he's pretty close to it.
Jack, none too happy with the arrow sticking out of his shoulder, kind of barges his way between the two, using his battle axe as a defensive measure. The bear man swings pathetically at him, and he turns around with a double swing right into his back, and you hear a grunt as he stumbles forward towards Gareth and Malcolm, and blood pouring from both his front and rear torso.
Hey, Malcolm, what would you like to do?
My lord.
My lord?
As this guy is reeling from Jack's shot, Malcolm will stab at him with his long sword.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Oh.
That's going to be 4 degrees of success. So it's 16 damage. He cannot take any more wounds. He cannot take any more injuries. So how does that look as you kill him? Rob. You there?
Rob?
Men in Black finally got him.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Blood,
Oh, no.
blood filled his mouth. He can't talk.
Runs him through.
You guys hear me?
Slides off his foot.
Yeah,
No,
no.
I can now. Yep, good.
Yeah, so the guy staggers forward. Malcolm thrusts his sword up under the guy's chin, comes out the back of his neck. Then Malcolm shoves on through. Because he didn't aim that time, so he will move.
Yep.
On through. Getting.
Yeah, you begin to ascend.
Alright.
Gareth.
Seeing the guy directly north of him go down, and Garrison, he'll kind of look out of the corner of his eye, see the crossbowman up there, realizing how dangerous he is there. Look at Sir Patrick. I'll cut him down, you go get him. Swings at the bear guy.
Swing away.
He's gonna aim.
Yep.
So does that add 1 to the
Rolled.
+1 or just 1?
Just 1. Yeah, don't ever put a plus.
Come on, Chris.
Ouch.
Hey, now.
Yeah. Should be enough.
You're taking enough time like Chris did. Put it in there.
Should be in.
It's in there,
Did
dude.
you roll? Oh, did you roll?
You're the Chris.
Yeah, I'm the Chris. You're right. I think he did a reckless attack last time. Right?
He
in the
did.
same round, right? Yep.
Yeah.
So we're talking about a 7. That's 2 degrees of success. It's 20 damage. I could probably take another wound, but he'd be at 3 wounds, -4 injuries. So how does that kill him?
Yeah.
So he kind of is resting his axe after watching the guy directly in front of him fall down, and tells Sir Patrick, to go get the crossbow. And at the time, he just kind of does a big heave, and aims for the chest region, hoping to hit some pay dirt.
Nara, you're up.
Alright. She knows the other guy has to reload. Cursing at herself that she didn't hit the guy with the crossbow before. But, aims at the redhead again. Everything's worked in already.
Aim. Great to aim.
Oh, yes, I'm aiming. Of course.
Holla.
3 degrees of success, 18 damage. How does it kill him?
Kind of, she's peppering him in the chest. So the first one hits him square in the chest. Second one in the stomach. And the third one, just to kind of line it all up all in a row, just straight in the forehead.
As you shoot that guy down, the guy with the crossbow is beginning to reload, and he sees that he's the only one left, and throws down his weapon. I surrender! You're knights, right? You have to take me alive, huh?
I'm not. He looks to Lord Malcolm for instructions.
He's still up on the bridge or whatever.
Yeah, he's just kind of like backing away with his hands up.
Throw him down, Malcolm. I'll catch him. Or not.
Just narrate what you do here. If you try to attack him, he'll try to run.
Yeah, Malcolm's the only one up that could get up there, I think, right now.
I can shoot him.
Yeah.
Far
I'll
be
leave
it
it
from
to,
me to tell my lady what to do.
Yeah, so she'll kind of look to everyone. She'll knock an arrow back. And let it fire. It's like, this is what you get for hitting my uncle.
And how does that look as you kill him?
Yeah, so she's got a big thing for faces. And hits him, because she's below him, hits him right underneath the jaw and goes up out of the back of his skull.
Mm-hmm. So they're all dead at your feet. And
Okay, so you shoot him down, and now everyone is dead that has been sent against you, and the town awaits for you to secure it. I'll let you have a little role play before we move on, as you bask in your victory.
Jack yanks the arrow out of his shoulder and kind of, that fucking hurts, and then went up to the soldiers up front to pick up one of their shields since his was utterly annihilated by one of the Ironborn. Kind of looks over and looks at his niece. You injured?
And she'll wipe a little bit of the blood off her face. Only a little. I'm okay. Much better than you are. And I'll look up and down.
can't kill Jack the Axe. Dad couldn't. These little bitches can't.
Good. And she'll look over to Sir Patrick. Can start fussing a little bit.
Sir
Are you
Patrick's
okay?
wounded. Yep.
And Malcolm take a look at Jack and Patrick's injuries. He's absolutely horrible at healing, so he won't, pack any dirt in or anything.
Just
I
rub
think you're
some
not
dirt
good at
on it.
healing if you're gonna pack dirt in the wounds.
Well, he knows he's not good, is what I'm saying, so he won't attempt to.
Sir Patrick just says, a little worse from the wear. You see some blood streaming from beneath his armor, but it's kind of in a non-vital area. I just say, I'm counted among the lucky to have such men and women among my new family.
I will see these dogs put to heel and get back to Hillwood.
Sir Patrick nods, looks at the others, see if there's anything he can do to help them. I doubt it though.
Let's secure the town and patch ourselves up.
Yes.
Yep. Sir Patrick just nods to Jack, the elder. Kind of takes Jack's lead, as probably sees him as some sort of a mentor since he's the uncle of Naira. And Sir Patrick takes his sword, flicks it to the ground, so the blood just sprays off.
Over the next
And
few
follows
days,
Jack into town to pacify it.
the combined forces of King Robert put down King Balon's rebellion and force him to bend the knee. When you are back at Storm's End, there is a great festival and celebration for all of you. You are in the streets
Yeah.
of Storm's End, and Lord Stannis Baratheon, master of ships for King Robert, stands greeting all the lords of the Stormlands. And beside him is the Castellan of Storm's End and his younger brother, Renly, who is also there. 1 second. He is 13 or so currently. And it is House Hilwood's turn to approach them. Lord Stannis looks very bored, while Renly looks very pleased with a smile on his face. He waves you up, the young boy. He's already tall and muscular, handsome. Come, come! Who is this? Who is this?
Malcolm approaches, gives a bow.
Lord Malcolm Hilwood. Yes, I heard it.
So Lord Malcolm
Recently
Hillwood.
been, I think, he looks to Sir Courtney. Lady Talea of the Kingswood, my lord. Ah, yes, yes. And he looks kind of befuddled about. They secured the hamlet on Orkmont. Saved us a lot of trouble with the provisions. We were able to starve out the traitors quite easily. Huh, wonderful. Wonderful. And Lord Stannis kind of looks down at all of you without saying anything, and finally, you did your duty for your king and your lord. It won't be forgotten. He kind of
Thank you, my lord.
stares blankly at you, and then he's like,
Malcolm
yes,
gives
yes!
Stannis a bow.
Feel free to call on us any time. And he kind of we'll definitely make sure that perhaps we invite you to our feast next we have it. And Sir Courtney just kind of looks at him and looks back at you. And quickly you're pushed aside by other lords and ladies, leaving you kind of to contemplate the last few weeks and how your lives have changed. And feel free to give some concluding roleplay. This is it.
So wrapping this narrative up, right?
Yeah, you tell me.
So how's everybody live happily or unhappily ever after? I don't want to marry Rivers, but I'll marry Nayra.
Malcolm hoists his cup. To you, my stalwart companions, and to House Hilwood. Takes a drink.
Here. She'll join in the drinking.
Here. Yes, Sir Patrick. Thank you, my lord. Here's to House Hilwood. May the house endure for 1,000 years thereafter. Raises the cup.
Yes, the 1,000-year right has begun.
No.
The years pass, and House Hilwood begins anew with a new lord and a lady that has endured much. Even with her advanced age, she is able to bear one child. She has 2 others that don't make it past infancy, but one survives. For the others, Sir Gareth finds a home for his axe, and he is able to serve House Hilwood with distinction for many years. Jack is, as Jack is, living in the Kingswood, guarding the borders of House Hilwood and generally being a notorious brigand. And Sir Patrick and Nira, they finally are wed soon after these escapades conclude, and their future remains to be seen in a different tale to be told one day in the future. And that is it.
Here.
Here.